Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Battle control online. New mission objective
Soviet
received.
war machine. Now you die. Nikola would be proud. Shocking therapy, I see. What? Nobody to kill? Now you die. Now you die. Nikola would be proud. What? Nobody to kill? Now you die. What? Nobody to kill? Kill them all! What? Nobody to kill? One by one. And they run. Capacitors fully charged. Leading the Soviet war machine. Leading the Soviet war machine. And they run. Now you die. I feel revitalized. Of course. Of course! I feel revitalized. Kill them all! Just like the old days. Why do we wait? Bring them to me, and they run.
Select target.
Leading the Soviet war machine. Capacitors fully charged. Just like the old days. Nikola would be proud. Just like the old days. Leading the Soviet war machine. Leading the Soviet war machine. And they run. Bring them to me. Why do we wait? Now you die. One by one. Just like the old days. Leading the Soviet war machine. One by one. I feel revitalized. The shocking therapy. Capacitors fully charged. Kill them all. Why do we wait? Now you die. Kill them all. Leading the Soviet war machine. One by one. Just like the old days. And they run. Just like the old days. Bring them to me. Just like the old days. One by one. Now you die. Nikola would be proud. And they run. Capacitors fully charged. Of course. Of course! What? Nobody to kill? What? Nobody to kill? One by one. Leading the Soviet war
Select
machine.
target.
Of course! Leading the Soviet war machine. The shocking therapy, I see. I feel revitalized. Why do we wait? Now you die. What? Nobody to kill? Kill them all. Capacitors fully charged. Now you die. Just like the old days. What? Nobody to kill? Bring them to me. Why do we wait? Need a shocking therapy, I see. Now you die. Now you die. Kill them all. Of course! One by one. Why do we wait? Need a shocking therapy, I see. Leading the Soviet war machine. Capacitors fully charged. Why do we wait? And they run. What? Nobody to kill? Kill them all. Nikola would be proud. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Nikola would be proud. What? Nobody to kill? One by one. Nikola would be proud. Now you die. Nikola would be proud. Why do we wait? Therapy, I see. Leading the Soviet war machine. What? Nobody to kill? Bring them to me. Leading the Soviet war machine.
Select target.
Nikola would be proud. Of course. Capacitors fully charged. And they run. Why do we wait? Now you die. I feel revitalized. Now you die. The shocking therapy, I see. Now you die. Of course. And they run. Now you die. Leading the Soviet war machine. Now you die. Of course. One by one. Just like the old days. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Leading the Soviet war machine. Just like the old days. One by one. What? Nobody to kill? Need a shocking therapy, I see. Just like the old days. Capacitors fully charged. Why do we wait? One by one. Why do we wait? One by one. Of course. Kill them all. Just like the old days. And they run. Bring them to me. One by one. Capacitors fully charged. Of course. Capacitors fully charged. Of course. I feel revitalized. Why do we wait? I feel revitalized. Capacitors fully charged. Just like the old days. I feel revitalized. Now you die. Of course. One by one. Capacitors fully charged. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Bring them to me. Just like the old days. And they run. What? Nobody to kill? Kill them all. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Kill them all. Nikola would be proud. One by one. And they run. Kill them all. Capacitors fully charged. Why do we wait? Bring them to me. Of course. And they run. Bring them to me. And they run. Now you die. Why do we wait? One by one. What? Nobody to kill? Leading the Soviet war machine. Capacitors fully charged. And they run. Now you die. What? Nobody to kill? Leading the Soviet war machine. Just like the old days. Just like the old days. Of course. Nikola would be proud.
Select target.
Leading the Soviet war machine. Of course. I feel revitalized. Nikola would be proud. Of course. Just like the old days. Leading the Soviet war machine. Need a shocking therapy, I see. One by one. Of course. One by one. What? Nobody to kill? Capacitors fully charged. Now you die. One by
Unit
one.
critical unit lost.
Need a shocking therapy, I see. Nikola would be proud. Capacitors fully charged. Of course! Just like the old days. What? Nobody to kill?
Select target.
Leading the Soviet war machine. Capacitors fully charged. One by one. Why do we wait? Need a shot of therapy. Kill them all. Kill them all. Just like the old days. Nikola would be proud. Now you die. Of course. What? Nobody to kill? Now you die. Capacitors fully charged. Leading the Soviet war machine. Of course. I feel revitalized. Nikola would be proud. Of course. Capacitors fully charged. Need a shocking therapy, I see.
Objective complete.
Bring them to me. What?
New mission objective received.
Capacitors fully charged. What? Nobody to kill? Leading the Soviet war machine. Capacitors fully charged. Just like the old days.
Objective complete. Mission accomplished.